guys, it's Elise. Welcome to my channel if you are new, and if you are not new, then of course, welcome back for another video. Thank you guys for coming back for today's video. As you can tell by the title, this is going to be kind of like an Easter brunch, church service, glam, springtime, peachy look. What? This makeup look is going to be perfect, especially with Easter rolling around the corner. We got some Easter church services coming up, okay? We got some brunches. Okay, we might even have some family dinners. We got a lot going on, okay? So this is going to be the perfect look for you. To me, it's just a perfect in-between for those of you who want to play with some color but don't want to go too crazy, too thoughty out in the streets. I got you, okay? We'll leave the thought moments for another day, another time, not on Easter, okay? Don't be thoughty on Easter, girl. I absolutely love it. I hope you guys do too. And if you guys want to see how to achieve this makeup look, then of course, please keep watching. Alright guys, so first things first, what I'm going to start off by doing is just taking some concealer. I'm using the Loreal Infalible Full Wear Concealer. I am going to be using this as an eyeshadow primer. I tend to always use concealers as eyeshadow primers because why the hell not? I feel like just going the extra step and having to have an eyeshadow primer, it's like redundant when a concealer works just as fine for me. Once I've blended the concealer out, I'm going to take the Coty Airspun loose setting powder. I'm just going to take a little bit of this and I'm just going to swirl my brush in it and just set the eyelids. I have to do this because if not, I feel like you're going to find that your shadows are going to start skipping and they're not going to be blending as effortlessly as they should be. So I'm going to be taking the Profusion. I've actually never used this palette before. I actually just recently picked it up from Target. It was about like $10. But I have heard good things about this brand. So I'm going to take this palette. This is the Profusion Sultry palette. And I'm going to be taking a mix of the shades Adventurous and Zing. These bad boys right here. And I'm just going to put it in my crease and windshield wiper motions. Ooh, okay, this palette has a ton of kickback, so keep that in mind. I mean, I'm like barely touching it here, and look how much kickback that has. I mean, it's like intense. That is the only shade that I'll probably be using from that palette. So now I'm going to grab the Juvia's Place Douce palette. The reason that I'm using this is because this has one of my favorite peaches and I really want to do a peach eyeshadow look. I want to do something really, really simple. So I'm going to take this shade right here. It's called Crepes on a flat definer brush like this one. And I'm just going to pack the color on my lid. And I know this is like one of the most deceiving shades because it looks like kind of like a brown, but once you apply it, like it's definitely a peach. I'm applying it on my lid like so. And I'm going to be very generous with it so I can get the most amount of pigment. So once I apply that and I get that on there, what I'll do is I'll just take a blending brush. This is the Luxie 205 tapered blending brush. I'm just going to take that with no excess product on it, just with whatever I have on my eye already. And I'm just going to really swirl around that peach and bring that upwards just so that the peach is kind of like basically all over the eye. Alright, so now taking this Alamar Cosmetics flat liner brush, what I'm going to do is my favorite technique that if you guys have been watching me, you guys know I do this all the time. I'm taking this on this brown shade right here called Chocolate. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and do kind of like a fake liner, but with shadow. I love doing this because personally, I just feel like wing liner takes me way too damn long. And instead of going through the hassle, what I do is I just take a dark brown shadow and it really does make a huge difference. I'll show you guys in a second. Alright, so as you guys can see, this is the eye with the shadow liner and this is the eye without it. And you can absolutely tell, to me at least in person, you can see a huge difference. This eye definitely looks a little bit bigger and it kind of creates an illusion of really having a liner on there even though you just have shadow. It's much easier to do, much less of a hassle than working with regular eyeliner to me, and it's just definitely just a yes in my book. Really quickly, I'm just going to run a couple coats of mascara because I need to put some lashes on. Alright, so now that I have my lashes on and I feel like everything's kind of coming together, let's move on to the rest of my face. I'm going to be taking the Cover FX Blurring Primer. I'm going to apply a little bit of this. The way that I do it is I always just apply some on my hands and I always just push it into my skin like this just because I feel like that gives me the best effect. It really just covers up my pores really well. And lately I've been getting some really giant pores around my nose area here especially. So I really just like to push it into my skin. I really do feel like it helps. So now I'm going to take my, actually I gotta get a new one of these because this is like running out. I'm going to take my Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation in the shade Warm Beige. I'm going to take a little bit of this on the BH Cosmetics number 4 brush. I've been using this brush for foundation lately, spraying it with a little bit of setting spray and then just going straight into my face with it. So now for concealer, I'm going to be taking the Infallible Full Wear Concealer again. I use this to prime my eyelids. Now I'm just going to use it to highlight a little bit under the eyes. So now to do a little bit of bronzing slash contouring, what I'm going to do is take a little bit of my Wet n Wild contour stick and this BH Cosmetics number 3 Studio Pro brush. What I'm going to do is just swirl my brush into the product a little bit, because what that does is it actually does pick up some product. And then I'm just going to apply this everywhere where I would, to kind of just do a really subtle, still snatched. We still want to be snatched, okay? Even if we're going to church, we still want to be snatched, okay? Contour. Alright, so finally, to set all of this face makeup in place, I'm taking the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder once again, and this time I'm just going to apply it under my eyes and kind of like on my nose, on my chin, all the areas where I typically tend to sweat and get oily first. Alright, I promise you guys we are almost done. What I'm going to do now is just use a little bit of this City Color Cosmetics Be Matte Blush in the shade Papaya. This is just a really beautiful peachy shade. For highlight, I'll be taking Ofra's Rodeo Drive. You definitely want to be careful with this highlight because she's intense. Okay, she's very disrespectful and you don't want to disrespect anybody or blind any of your sisters at church. Okay, so let's not pack her on like that. What I'm going to do is take the Tartiest lip paint in the shade Home Slice. This is a really peachy liquid lip. You can obviously do a nude if you would like, or just completely skip out on doing anything colorful on the lips, or you can do something more colorful. It's really up to you. Over top of this, I am going to use a little bit of Fenty. This is the original one, the Fenty Glow lip gloss. And last but not least, what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of the Morphe Setting Mist, because you know, if we are going to be out here doing some sort of brunch, chilling and grilling, okay, we need to make sure this face is locked and loaded. Alright, and this is pretty much the finished makeup look. So I'm going to go ahead and change really quick because I'm definitely looking very comfortable right now, and we need to look a little bit more glam, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, so that's pretty much going to complete this makeup tutorial. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you found it helpful, and I also hope that it gave you some inspiration for what you're going to do for makeup this upcoming Easter, or at all, okay? I hope it gave you some inspiration to do your makeup, girl. If you guys have made it to the end of this video and you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. They help me out a lot. They let me know that you are enjoying my content, and that way I can come back and continue to do more for you guys. But of course, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love to have you be a part of my YouTube family. That is it for today, guys. I hope each and every one of you have a happy and a blessed Easter, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye.